Hello and welcome to turn 6 of GMT's Field to Fire 2 Peleliu campaign, mission 1, the initial assault. 6 of 10 turns. We're now about to get our last wave to come in, which are along here, which is pretty much made up of forward observers and the mortar section units. So these are the guys bringing up the rear. So we are fairly well advanced here now. We do have our 2 platoons here threatening the objective as well. There's also we're firing across into this card here, where there is a bunker and also a squad in a trench which retreated from here. We have some silliness going on here, as we are actually firing within the card, but there's nobody to fire at yet. So we're hoping that the gunnery sergeant here will unpin himself and then call for a ceasefire, and then we may be able to contribute up here. We have our guest LVT tank here. We did have one here that was scared off by the fire coming in from the bunker last turn. Right, so first thing we do, of course, is the HQ. And at the HQ, we don't get an HQ. The battalion HQ does nothing. So now we activate our company HQ. Is actually on the board, although can't particularly do anything effective. We will try and activate him and save some more commands. He's a veteran, he can save up to 9. Okay, so let's draw the card. The activation. We get 4, plus 1 is 5, but we get up to the 9. And we're not going to spend them, we're just going to save them. So keep the company HQ up there. Therefore, no activations. We fall back on our initiative segment, and again, there's not a lot we can do with our platoons, or the mortar section here, or the machine gun platoon here either. We're just left really with the tank platoon and gunnery sergeant, first sergeant XO. So 3 of those, the first sergeant XO and gunnery sergeant, gain one command each, and then we need to roll for the tank platoon. Draw, sorry, not roll. And the tank platoon is a line, and so we get 2 for them. So just zooming in over there, because nothing much is moving here on the command display for this turn. So that's probably a bit too long a range, isn't it? So let's move across. Right, so here we have the company HQ is now on maximum. As I said, 1st, 2nd and 3rd platoon, mortar section and MG platoon are all at their maximums. I've just moved up the first sergeant, gunnery sergeant and XO, giving them their 1 commands. And the tank platoon, we've just given it 2 extra commands. So we bring it up to 3. And of course it will activate its own tank. So we'll do that. I'm not sure I would want it to do anything else. It won't really do anything else until the activation phase anyway. So that'll be it for the tank platoon. And we're on to our general initiative. So this is going quite rapidly, and it's only because there's not much we can do with the HQs. Things will kick off next turn when the HQs actually land and disembark. Well, they will this turn, but of course that'll be in the vehicle phase after all of the activations are finished. So yeah, let's look for general initiative. The general initiative we have is 2. So let's switch back to the board. It didn't take that long to look at the command display. Let's switch back. Right, I just realised actually, just moving away, that I did actually want the gunnery sergeant to do something. Hopefully get himself unpinned and then fire off. Oh, he can't fire anything off. He doesn't have yeah, he has no pyrotechnics to fire off. We could use the XO actually, who is, I believe, up here. Yes, he could fire his Red Star parachute. Yes, actually, we could get the XO to fire off a Red Star parachute, which is a ceasefire, or possibly a Green Star parachute flare, which is shift fire. And of course, shift fire, they would shift to the only target they have, which is this card. So I think I'll do that. It would be placed here, but the entire board would be able to see it. So all the troops will stop firing, but then they will recommence firing at a new target if it's a ceasefire. Shift fire, they'll shift to another target if the one's available. So I think I'll do the ceasefire because I think that one's the correct one. So that's the Red Star parachute flare. So with the XO, it takes a command to do that. So I will do that, and the Red Star parachute flare, which was part of the assets actually in the box over here for the XO here. We flip it over, and the Red Star parachute flare will then put on the card the XO is on, and that will cause a ceasefire here. So that small arms will come off, and then they will commence firing up here, which will give us fire going both ways. And because we have two areas of two PDFs coming into that card, we will have a crossfire. Let's just place that. There we go. So it's a VOF with a crossfire here, gives us an extra -1. Great, okay. So yeah, that's what I wanted to slightly wind back on before we do the general initiative, which was the two orders. Right, I think what we will want to do now, I think, is actually get our assault team to move on to the objective. Now we're in the trenches and we've got good support here, so let's do that. So that is one initiative, and we'll take it from here, I think, because we don't really care too much about that card. And we'll move him on here with, of course, our despised exposed markers, and we have one more. Command to do. I think what we'll do here is we will attempt to spot. Look, do we have a veteran unit on here? Potentially. Yes. I think we have. Yeah, that's the first squad of 2nd platoon. So which is a veteran. So that unit will attempt to spot the units in here. So that will be 3 cards normally. Modifiers though, the target's undercover, so that will reduce down to 2. But they are firing. The firing, it's not automatic fire, so that doesn't really affect anything. So we're down to 2 cards. So let's pick 2 cards here, and we're looking for the crosshairs. So we don't get the crosshairs there, and we don't get it there either. That was a nice try. Okay, so that's definitely the end of our command phase, and now it's over to the enemy. So they will check their HQ, their higher HQ, which does nothing this turn, and then we will check the enemy activity for this unit, and this unit. Right. So let's see, who will we check first? Let's pick a randomizer here, I think. So 1, 2, and 3. It's number 1. And number 1 is this one. So we are hidden and we are firing on another card. So let's look at the tables on the deliberate defense tactics, and we are not under fire but has open fire. So there's an automatic concentrate fire done, a grenade attack if there were units on the same card, but there aren't, so it will be attempt to concentrate fire. So with that, they're a line unit, so they get 2 cards to do this with, and I'm wondering if I've missed the reshuffle card here, but let's keep going. So we have no, we're looking for the crosshairs, so no with that card and no with that card. Let me just check if I forgot to. Just can't see the. Yes, the reshuffle did come up earlier and I completely missed it. So let me just redo that until we go on. With focusing on what I'm trying to do on the board and trying to make sure the camera's pointing in the right direction and I'm making sense as I jabber on. It can be you can easily miss it. Right. So we had the attempt here to concentrate fire and that failed. So that contact is done. Let's randomize 1 and 2 for the other 2. And we get number 2. So that's the squad in the trench here. It is pinned, so we use the pinned chart rather than the defensive chart. There's no leader, so we're on this. Let's get the glare out of the way. We're on this card. We are pinned. We are undercover, but not on a US occupied card. So I think we're down here, pinned, undercover here. So this is the range we have here. So randomize on 4. And on 4 we take result 2. And the result 2 is no action. So that means they'll just keep what they're doing, which is currently firing that way. Great. Okay, so we're left with the bunker here. Now, with the bunker, they are pinned. I'm just thinking they do have a target down here that's just moved on. So really, there should be a PDF going in that direction. Now, they should have opened fire on that surf zone with an all pinned marker. Yes, because it's an automatic weapon. It is long range, so it can take 2 cards. It can go 2 cards. So yeah, there is that marker there. Missed that out. So let's see what they do. Again, pinned. So with pinned, we're pretty much on the same table which we were before, which was a 4 randomizer. So let's look at that, and the 4 randomizer says a 4, and the 4, if we look here, the 4 is a fall back. Right, so they're actually going to retreat, which is good news, I think. So we need to find out where they retreat to. So the options would be one of these two cards. So again, randomise 1 or a 2. And they go to 1. So they go to the objective 2. So they actually abandon the bunker, which was a tough nut to crack, of course. And they will retreat back to here, where there is no particular cover at the moment. And of course they are exposed. And they will open fire, and the target they would open fire on is here, because remember, only diagonals and straights work, so they can't reach here. That's the only card they can really reach, so they will open a PDF fire there. That will shift, that will come off and go on there. And remember, all of these guys are actually in the trench. I know I moved them off to show the XO there. Right. But does that mean that any of the Americans' units can now fire on them? So there won't be a shift fire from here because they're firing in here and there's still a unit in. They can't fire. I think they get away with it. Yes, nobody's actually going to be firing on them. That's correct. And I think that's, yeah, do we still have, I can't remember whether we did this chap or not. I don't think we have yet. So, yeah, we have yes, we did. I remember now, we definitely did. Yeah, with the enemy activity phase over, let's go to the retreat and capture phase. So retreat and capture, I think there's nothing here that really merits us to do anything. No. And so what we will do is move on to the vehicle phase. And I again forgot to put the activations on to these LVTs. I'm not sure that LVT is supposed to be there. We should just have 8. Yeah, that's all. Also, there's an activation, of course, on our tank as well. So let's move. It's good actually that they retreated from the bunker, because there would have been a VOF in here and we'd have to resolve it now, so that's just removed. That's great. Right, so let's just move these forward as you should do, and we will then unload there. We have our paralysed unit there, and move this up as well and do likewise. So the 2nd platoon HQ finally arrives, is exposed, and that's available there. And yeah, carry on here. We finally have some machine gunners arrive, which is great, with the COHQ. And what do we have here? Ah, yes, just some letter teams, etc. Okay. Right. Move these on as well, which is our 3rd squad and 3rd platoon HQ. and move our last wave in as well. And there we go, that's all the LVTs taken care of. Now our friend the tank. I'm inclined to move across to here, and then he will be able to fire as well into here, as we have got a spotted unit there. So we'll move here, and then we will fire into this card. So firing into this card places a heavy weapons VOF. Which replaces the small arms. I'll keep the small arms underneath. Just for reference sake. And of course we do have a PDF coming this way. Oops, not a double-headed arrow, just a single. So there's quite a confusion in this firefight, isn't there? We still have the crossfire here. We now have a crossfire from 3 angles into here as well. Okay, that's the vehicle phase, and yeah, I think we're all done with everything on that. So we're on to the combat phase. So with the combat phase, I've just realised that this unit could have fired into here, but it does prioritise the larger number of units, so it definitely would stick here. There was a possibility it would look at this, but it doesn't. So I had that right, but just thought I'd point that out. I just realised myself that I'd forgotten that unit up there. So the combat phase, we have potential contact resolution, and we have one here, which is of course this guy. So it's a potential contact A, and we're engaged. So I believe that is 5 cards. Yes, that's correct. So let's pick 5 cards out. And we're hoping not for a contact, because then that will mean that we'll have objective 1. Blank. Cover. Rally. Starting to look good. There we go. Should have said anything. Contact. And rally again. So yeah, we do have a contact on that card. So let's see what it is. This is row 4. And in row 4, let's see the chart. Well, all the charts are a randomizer on 10. So let's pick that randomizer card first, and that is a 10. Okay, so we're at the bottom of the chart, and we're looking at row 4 here, and the package is number 19. What do we get for number 19? Number 19 is, oh, not so bad. It's called Dazed and Confused. 1 rifle squad marked exposed in the placement card at point blank. Oh, and it is spotted. So we have a Japanese rifle squad, which I'll need to find. Okay, got that, with an exposed marker on the same card. So of course everybody opens up on that card. So we have an automatic weapons from the assault team and a small arms from the the squad. Let's place those. So I think that could have been a lot worse. Automatic weapons is on the squad, and small arms coming back on the assault team. It's going to be quite bloody there. There's lots of minuses there now because of the exposed markers. That potential contact marker A disappears. And we're not resolving any others because there's no, these are the remaining cards here and here where there are no American units. So we're on to the combat phase. So we'll need to resolve all that. It's all simultaneous, it doesn't really matter the way we do it, so let's do it kind of top left to bottom right if you like. So we will start on this card, and we will fire at the squad here, exposed. It's on a +2 card, but -2 exposed, and it's an automatic weapons -1. That means that it's a -1 on the hit. And let's see what -1 gives. -1 gives us a hit. Great. Let's see the effect and their line quality. Line quality is they have an assault team. Great, let's sort that. Right, so we have the assault team. Now, interesting enough, the assault team, if we look here, is still small arms fire. There's no automatic fire. It's just a fracturing of the squad. And of course they are pinned now because there was a result. And so let's look on ours. We have +2, +2 on the card, -2 exposed, small arms 0 coming in, so it's just on the 0 chart, and the 0 chart is a hit. Great. So that result for a line is FC. So the first is an F. F means a fire team. So the assault team converts to a fire team, which, as luck would have it, is actually on the back of the same counter, and of course pinned as well. This means the VF markers on each side are both all pinned. That needs to be replaced. I can find just a small arms fire here. Might be running low in my little stock here, so I'll go and dig one out. Here we go. So all pinned on both sides of that card. So we're in a firefight there, and I think we just ran into each other, and everybody ducked their heads. Okay, so that's done. There's a fire onto this card here, so let's resolve that. That's all pinned onto this card. That's coming from this direction, so there was a +1 as it's going through the green border, +1 here, +2 for all pinned, and then +2 for the trenches, so that's +5. So we should be okay, I think, but there's quite a lot. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, there are four units there to check, so +5 on each one of them. +5 is a miss for the second one, which is the XO. +5 is a miss. The third one, which is the assault team, the assault demo team, +5 is a miss. And finally, the squad, +5 is a miss. So yeah, no effect there. Everybody's happy with the amount of fire coming in from the exposed unit here. Right. Next to go, I think, would be this card here. So there's the Japanese unit in the trenches here, pinned down. We have a heavy weapons VOF from the tank that fired here, which gives us the -3. There's a crossfire for another -1, so -4 to start with. crossing the green boundary, so it's a +1 on the card. So that's back to -3, back to -2 for the pinned, and then for the trenches, another +2, which means it's a 0. So we're looking on the 0 chart for that squad. And the 0 is a pin, so continued to be pinned, which is okay. That's fine by me. Now over here on this card, we actually have a crossfire of small arms coming in. And I just realised we brought these guys in, and they are actually exposed. So yeah, that's our platoon HQ. Not particularly happy about that. Right, quite a few units to go through. So we'll start with the platoon HQ. We're on a 0 for small arms, +1 for the card, -1 for the crossfire, and -2 for the exposed. So that's a net -2 on the chart. And a -2 is a pin. Well, I'll live with that. Let's just change that exposed marker over to a pin, and put that there. And then we've got the squad, which is also exposed, which is on a 0 again. No, sorry, on a -2 again. And a -2 is a hit. So a hit. That's the third squad of third platoon, so it is green. So we look on the green section, and that's C and L. So litter team and casualty. So it landed and immediately got swamped by that small arms fire. So I'll have to replace that with the 2-step unit, and put in a litter team and a casualty. Which I can do fairly quickly, but I may have to look for the 2-step. Casualty just goes on the top, litter team underneath the HQ for the moment, I think. And let's sort out the 2-step squad. Right, here it is. So let's put all that. The stack. We have this fire team to check, and we have the small arms of 0, -1 crossfire, +1 on the card, so that's a net 0 for him. And a 0 means a pin. So he is now down pinned. And then we are onto this stack of units, where we have the gunnery sergeant. Now he's pinned, so that's a +1 in total. And the +1 continues to be a pin. The assault team here on +1 is actually a hit. Wow. Okay, and the result is a P for line, so he turns into a paralysed team. This fire team here is on +1, and +1 is a pin. And I think this is the last one, the squad. Yeah, the squad here, which is on +1, is a hit. Wow, that's some impressive firing. So we hit on that squad, and it's the first squad, so it's veteran. And veteran, we get a P and an F. So that's paralysed and fire team. So our little 2-step squad here actually breaks down completely, and we have paralysed and a fire team. So as you can see over here in 3rd platoon, we are all over the place. And the gunnery sergeant is really not controlling the situation. But, well, anyway, that's the result there. Wow, okay, so a lot of pinned units on this card. We're going nowhere fast over here, even though the Japanese have pushed back and also pushed back further from the bunker. We're still pinned down by this unit here, and then also more importantly this hidden unit here, which we haven't spotted yet. Right, I think that's the combat phase, so now we can clean up and get rid of a few markers, expose, move fires, etc. And then from that on, it's into the next turn. One thing I did want to do actually though is it does mention that when LVTs arrive here, they can pick up casualties. So I do actually want to do that, and we shall pick up casualties here. Here and here under fire, so we can retrieve those casualties off the board. Great. Right, and cleaning up, we have here, remove the exposed, and I'll do the rest in between the turns. So thanks for watching. This was turn 6, now going on to turn 7 of 10. So we are on one of the objective cards. Hopefully we'll be able to clear that and by the end of the game. But thanks for joining me, and hope to see you for turn 7. Bye for now.